Hello and welcome. My name is Zafar Iqbal and you're watching the Mojo Story. Will Prime Minister Modi's visit to Manipur provide the much needed healing touch for that state which is riddled with trouble for last more than 2 years because of the communal the clashes between the two communities in that state, the Kuki and the Meitei communities. Now, there was a demand from all sides that the Prime Minister must visit that state for all these 2 years. But now, significantly, Prime Minister will be today there. He was in Mizoram earlier and he'll be going to Churachandpur initially and then he'll fly to Imphal. In Churachandpur, he will inaugurate development projects worth 7,300 crores, and in Imphal, there will be projects that will be inaugurated, a developmental project worth 1,200 crore. Now, this is a very significant visit. What is the sense from the ground? We're today joined by an eminent panel. We're joined by Glady. She joins us from Manipur. Of course, she represents the Kuki community. And also, we are joined by Dr. Seram Rajesh, who represents the Meitei community. Welcome to Mojo Story, Dr. Seram and Glady. Glady, if I may start with you, what are your expectations from the Prime Minister's visit? We know that there has been a demand for a long time that the Prime Minister must visit that state, and now that is actually happening. How do you look forward to this visit?
Namaste, everyone, and good morning. Definitely, we welcome the Prime Minister visit because he is our Prime Minister as well as the other. So we really welcome him. Yeah. At the same time, we, the Kuki-Zo, felt that half years have passed, done long time ago. Most of the damage has been done. We are totally emotionally, physically, spiritually also separated now. The gap is already done. Having said that, we are now, I don't know whether to even say that we are joyful or we are sad. We just have to watch what is going to happen. And the government's earlier response, it set a tone for failure. Had the PM responded, had the HM responded in the beginning of the violence, May 3rd, 2023, many of the victims would have been alive. They have help within their reach, but we felt that we are ignored. Our voices are not heard. We also feel that 2.5 years is a long, long time. I'm not against his visit. Don't get me wrong. We appreciate his gesture and we look forward. And let this visit be just the beginning of a new chapter. But justice has to be brought in. Without justice, peace cannot be preached. Without justice, we can not move forward. Life of the people, they are suffering, continue suffering till today. People living in relief center, people who are, in need of basic infrastructure, food, clothing, medical facility, and education and transportation, all these things has to be looked into it. I hope our Prime Minister will see the reality of the Kuki-Zo suffering. Even today we heard the weather is very bad and he could not, come because of bad weather. And for him, this is the first time he experienced that. For the Kuki-Zo, for the past 2.5 years, this was our daily routine. Even if anybody is sick in terms of medical emergency, we cannot airlift them. We cannot, for 2.5 years, we cannot access to the valley. And life there is very, very hard. So I believe that infrastructure has to be, in place, first thing. And the people has to feel sense of peace, second thing. And also, I believe that the Kuki-Zo, like any other citizen of this country, deserve to live peacefully in their land. And I also believe that, we have seen that enough of saying, enough of highlighting the problem, enough of atrocities, enough of things that happen to the Kuki-Zo, right, from 3rd May 2023, enough highlight. There's nothing much to say except now, look into the reality of what exactly is the state of Manipur. And then even the, not only for the living, even for the people, the victim, what kind of justice has been taken so far? We have seen Olivia and Florence, the perpetrator are roaming freely. David Thiek, killer, is not brought to, to this thing. And then other things, those are roaming freely. So if justice is not there, any kind of development, any kind of project, any kind of infrastructure, it's not going to help. We need all those things, but the basic thing is right to live, right to govern ourselves, right to dream again, right to eat every day, right to breathe again, right to educate ourselves again, access to the outside world, and access to medical facilities. We don't even have a hospital where you can run in when you have emergency like heart attack. And all the super specialties hospital are in the valley. So all these things, the basic grassroots level, when all these are done, then only we can look forward to a mega project. To,
Right.
when you're mentally disturbed, when you are tormented for 2.5 years, neglected on purpose.
Right.
So yes.
Very passionate views. Gladly, you touched upon two important things. The infrastructure that's really got damaged, and the movement of the people that's really got curtailed. We saw those highway blockades. People are not able to move to the airports. They have to take a different route, which involves so much time. And at the same time, you raise the question of justice. These are two things that should go parallelly. Dr. Seeram, would you agree to that?
Yes, certainly. Like the community leaders who are also sensible, we all also need to come and introspect that in the last 2.5 years, this violence, the border communities have suffered, and we are actually living in hell. And this is a time that we every community in Manipur, not only one particular community. We have 34 communities in Manipur being recognized by the state and government of India. All the communities actually deserves to live with peacefully, and the free movement, like the whether the cookies communities coming in Imphal, or the Meitei coming to the national highways and others also in any other part, it needs to be actually done, because the free movement is the fundamental rights. And of course, since there is only one international and national airport in Imphal, the Kuki community should be allowed, and all the security measures should be given so that they can access, because this is not only for one particular community or Meiteis or Nagas. So this is a thing. In the visit of the prime ministers, of course, a prime minister can visit anywhere in Manipur or any other places in country. And this is not the first time that the prime minister visited in Churachandpur. So in 1969, the former prime minister, also visited over there. So I think whenever he wants, it should not be any problem. But the problem here lies the manner in which the prime minister is actually executing his meeting. It has a problem. We were hopeful that the prime minister would come and actually trying to bridge the community, so that people can live with peacefully, and reconciliation, and also justice is important. Without the justice and accountability, fixed accountability, the true justice and the true peace will not be possible. But after 2.5 years of prime minister led visit, now he failed to bring people on the table, and that is something which is very worrying, because he could have actually chosen in another places, maybe another Senapati or Ukrul or Sandel, if he has no confidence that these armed forces and the administration could not actually bring even the border communities in one place. So that intention was not there, and it seems that his visit will strengthen more division, because the intention is not actually very clear that the community will sit together. Forget about the community leaders, but
But
also
how do you make that assumption? How do you make that
this one
assumption,
assumption.
Dr.
No,
Siram? Because
Zafar,
he's just going there uh, with an open mind. Of course, he will be talking about the development projects and peace and progress of the state. But how do you say that it would not bring about a reconciliation?
no,
At
no,
least a
it
step
shouldn't.
towards a reconciliation.
No, no, hello,
Yeah. Yes, please.
blowing out.
Please speak
No,
on. Yeah.
no, just 1 second.
Gladdy, if I may ask you that, Dr. Seram was saying that there is more symbolism to this visit, less substance, and it could not help to bring about a reconciliation. But don't we see it
No,
as a
let me
first step, as a step? Yes.
now let me
Yes, I think
hello.
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
definitely
Sorry,
Le-
yeah, it was interrupted because of. Let me complete my point.
yeah.
It's
Yes.
almost welcome. My point is that the first thing is that if you're only thinking that the money will give and the money will finish and will bring everything, it's not, because we are a people with a dignified people, border communities, and at this point of time, the prime minister should be able to bring the two communities, at least in the civil society level or political level, to bring together in one table so that we can discuss. But he has no intention of that. Even, for example, even the BJP MLAs, I would heard that the BJP MLAs in the Churachandpur, the Kuki will meet the prime minister in Churachandpur, and the Meitei BJP and Nagas, they meet in Imphal. That means that why is the plan of meeting together? Where is the plan of meeting together? That means he has failed. He has failed his duty to bring the people together. That is the point. What I'm saying. Even though they are giving crores of money, I think will they allow to do? Yes, of course we want development for all, and they should be given, because Manipur has been neglected in the last 50 years by the government of India in terms of the sanction, in terms of the things. You cannot compare Imphal and Kolkata. You cannot compare Imphal and the Delhi. It's nothing there, because this is a center for all the communities, all the people community living in there. We should not communalize. We should not communalize the development, or development here, and that is a problem. My clear thing is that Prime Minister again has failed.
Right.
Even his
Let us let
intention
us
was
let
very
us
clear.
let us go to
Intention
Gladdy.
was very clear.
Gladdy,
yes, yes.
the
Let me
point that
one more point.
Dr. Seram
Mm,
is
mm,
raising is that
mm, mm,
this is not actually a visit that could bring about reconciliation, because Prime Minister is meeting people separately. He's not meeting them together,
mhm.
and money will not help to bridge the gap. That's what he's saying. What are your views?
See, again, like I said earlier, we have to address the root cause of this violence. And the root cause is the majoritarian Meitei attacking the minority Kuki-Zo in the valley without, a warning. That is the root cause. And the second thing is, if you look at demographic dominance also, we don't even want to compare with other. Let's compare within the state. In Manipur, in member assembly, if you look at 60 seats are there and 40 seats goes to Meitei. Only 10 left to the Kuki. If you look at the state budget also, most of the budget were utilized in the valley. The root cause is all these things. Here, sir, neglected like anything. And with our hard work, we have become something in the government, something in the government. That's why we live in the valley. Some of us who are, chased away in the valley are all government workers or business people. And with our hard work, we have reached there. And now the dominant community, Meitei, have chased us all, burning all our houses. Anything that our hard-earned money is destroyed. 300 churches are torched. burn down all the houses, whatever we have in the valley with our hard-earned money, tax-paid money is all destroyed. All these things are to be addressed first. Prime Minister visit is most welcome. Most welcome. It's not that we are against it, most welcome. But let this be the beginning of addressing the reality. And what about the infrastructure? Look again, how many super specialties they have in the valley, how many technical training centers they have in the valley, how many universities they have in the valley, international airport in the valley. Can't we have a local regional airport in Churachandpur, which is the right of every citizen? Can't we have just one? How long does it take to build that? What about, what about the roads? Look at Imphal. It's swanky road with all the modern amenity. Look at the hills. If the Prime Minister traveled from Aizawl to Lamka, he will realize the amount of potholes, the amount of landslide that we have. Even our own agriculture that we do without modern technology, we clear weeds, we kill trees, and because we have to eat. Even our paddy field agricultural land now are attacked. So the grassroots level problem, if we do not address it, and also seeing 2.5 years where Meitei and Kuki are not crossing paths. In social media, the attack continues. In the narrative, the attack continues. I think I would like to request our dear Prime Minister, whoever spread hate message on social media, calling Kuki narco-terrorist, calling Kuki illegal immigrant, calling Kuki as somebody outside this country, I think those should be attacked and handled first. And also all those perpetrators, everyone that get involved, be it the video that went viral, all those rapists, be it the person who chopped off David Thiek, be it the person who killed that, old citizen, an armed lady, anybody who get involved in that, the central government should take a task and put them behind bar. And also, I believe that Kuki-Zo are really, really innocent because their houses are all marked in Imphal Valley prior to the violence, So all this premeditated, pre-planned, who is the brain behind, all those things has to be studied. I really appreciate our Prime Minister Modi ji, really salute from my side that finally, he realized how much we have suffered. Finally, he realized to step into our land. I'm really, really happy for that. And having, the trouble that we have in day-to-day life, I want to highlight few things like electricity. I was there 7 days, there's no electricity, which means the people in ICU, the civil hospital that don't have any modern facility, in that even ICU people cannot continue oxygen. So what they do is they hire generator. Okay, there is no electricity, continuous electricity over 7 days, no electricity. And also, what about blood bank? Blood bank cannot function without electricity. Even if we have volunteers donating blood, there is no blood bank. I know one officer mother died because they could not separate the platelets that was required. So blood bank, electricity is the basic infrastructure for today's world. Internet shut down, and what about education, children education? The relief center, one relief center, only one I'll point out. I don't know how much the government been paid. I wouldn't go there. But the reality of that relief center, there are about 150 staying there, no toilet. They use a black polythene bag to throw their, the dirty things roadside. There's no toilet. I have the video, and there is no drinking water in that relief center. And Zafar, 2.5 years, can't we build a relief center? All the decoration that we use for our Prime Minister visit, is it a celebration? Can't we use all those things for the one who needed the most? Unless we address the real core, the real issue, the real thing, it is just an eyewash. It is just, a photo session. I would not agree with anything that a big project, a big thing, those we need it obviously for the future. Let's really safeguard the lives of the people. And the Meitei and the Kuki, I don't think can ever live together. So our constitution grants us the right to govern ourselves. Why can't we have that? We're not even asking statehood. How can we have a statehood when we don't have any infrastructure? So we want to work closer to the center government. That is why we want union territory, so that the center will watch over us. Let us govern ourselves. Let us have a separate budget for the Kuki-Zo community. Let us have separate railways, road infrastructure, power, anything. So all these things, yes.
Those are demands that have been there for some time, and we cannot
It
forget
is.
that the state has passed through a tumultuous period in the last
Yes.
2.5 years. It is not a normal situation. there is a context to all of this. Dr. Seram, she raised the point about relief centers and the way that the facilities are not there. Do you think that the focus should be on sort of helping the people to come out of the troubles and the problems that they have faced in the last 2 years, and to slowly bring about a reconciliation? The fact that Prime Minister is there, visiting there, will it act as a healing touch for the members of both the communities or for the state on the whole?
Mr. Zafar, Sister Glady has actually raised certain issues concerning about the life and issue of underdevelopment in the region. These are the issues we need to discuss more, but we should not communalize this development issue to justify violence over the Meitei community. Because whatever happened in the hill districts or valley districts, Meitei are not responsible. Why I am saying is that, for example, if you are also looking this hill valley binary, it is wrong, because Churachandpur is the second most developed district out of the 16 district in Manipur, because there is no any state hospital in Ukhrul or Sandel or Tengopal or only in Churachandpur, because Churachandpur is next to Imphal and it's not very far. From Imphal you can reach within 45 minutes. So Churachandpur is a hospital, has the medical students. There is no any medical student facility in any other district. So as comparatively with Ukhrul, Sandel, Tengopal, None, and all other 9 district hill districts, so Churachandpur is the most developed state, most developed districts. Please note down. So we understand that the Imphal is a center of all these 9 mountains, and for example, if you know Manipur geography clearly, for example, if the first hospital of RIMS, if it was established in Ukhrul, then the people from Churachandpur will take at least 9 hours to reach. If the hospital was established in None, in Tamenglong, in the Kabui dominated area, it will not be accessible. My point is that when the Imphal, the plain is a central valley, it is a center for all the people, not only for a valley, but also for all the communities, for all the districts. So I don't think we should not communalize this underdevelopment. Of course, but as far as the administration is concerned, even the Kuki communities, they comprises by 15% of the population. They have dominated the bureaucracy for the last 50 years in Manipur. You will not find such kind of domination by one particular minority tribal community. Like if you list out the police top posts, like from 1 to 20, all are the Kukis, except in 2 officers. The generation by generation, they are dominating. Even in the civil secretary, you will not see such kind of tribal 15% population dominating in other state. So there are problems. There are problems that the bureaucracy is dominated by the Kukis, not only in Manipur, but also in central forces. Look at in many ministry, the Kukis are in the chief secretary. Forget about other tribes. So my point is that there are issues, we can look into it, but this underdevelopment cannot be a justifying point to attack on the Meitei community. If this is done, then there are many other underdeveloped states.
Let Glady respond. Let her respond.
No, let me clarify 2-3 more points.
Yeah,
if this is justified, then even in Shillong is the capital of Meghalaya. It's not compared with any other district. In Nagaland, Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, even in Himachal Pradesh or any other state, the capital and the other state have the differences, because the policy of the government development is actually continuing the colonial policy. Like they develop the capital and the district and forget about the marginality. Imphal is not all about only Imphal. There are other 4 districts like Thobal. It has nothing. Kangpok, Kaching district, it has nothing. The hospital, if you compare with Kaching hospital, Kaching in Imphal, Kaching hospital in Imphal and Churachandpur, it cannot be comparable. If you are in
let us hear from Glady. Let her respond.
No, I think
We can't hear you,
Jafar, if
Gladdy.
you
You
give
are
us
on mute.
proper time,
Yeah,
proper
yeah,
Yeah,
time
can
you
I
to
can.
talk? Can I talk?
We will come back to you. Yeah,
Can I
Gladdy,
talk?
please
Yes,
respond
can I
first, then
talk?
we go back to Dr.
So
Siram. Yeah.
this Rogers, what he said clearly shows that more than 80% of the state budget is utilized in the valley. That's why he said Ukhrul and other hill districts are equally neglected by the valley. That's one point. The second thing is he said that only the capital need infrastructure, which is the center for everyone. That's totally wrong. If you look at Mumbai, Mumbai is not the capital. Mumbai is far better when it comes to job, when it comes to even the rich people, or when it comes to other things. Mumbai is far better. Even you look at Dimapur and Kohima. Kohima is the capital. Dimapur has a better infrastructure. That is also something that he didn't study well. And if you look at the Meitei and the Kuki community, earlier they lived together peacefully. Kuki didn't know anything what was brewing under their house. That's why if we say ethnic fight, it was not an ethnic fight. It was ethnic cleansing. The two community, only the Meitei fought. The state protected them. The chief minister, instead of using the state machinery to protect the citizen, he was letting Rambai Tengol and Meitei Lipun go free hand. Even the center, when we asked for president rule, shouting like anything, give us president rule, it took a long time to give president rule. That also looks like it was done to protect the image of Ndiren Singh. When the audio leak, he had no choice. So he had to step down. So all those things was, done, not actually thinking about the Kuki-Zo minority in Manipur. And now the Supreme Court has given an order that no property in the valley that belongs to Kuki-Zo will be misused or occupied. Today you go take census. We can't enter. But you go and do a survey. How many churches properties, how many orphanage properties, how many private properties are illegally occupied against the Supreme Court order? And then really the gap is so much. They are the one who separated Manipur into two. There is nothing like state integrity. There is
Right.
something, there is nothing like state integrity.
Those
So
fault,
we
those
can live
fault, those
separately.
fault,
We
those fault lines are very deep, and we have been talking
Very
about
deep.
this
It
for
is
some
already
time.
cut in our
Let,
heart. It cannot be
let us
write on paper that peace prevail. It is cut in our heart and our soul.
right, Dr. Siram. Last word
Jafar,
to you before we wrap up. Yeah.
no, Zephyr, look, like the victim card, like it's been 2 years now. So by portraying a victim card will not solve any
It's not a
problem
card. It's
because
victim. It's not
uh,
a card.
because
It's not a ply
because
card. Please don't get it
because
wrong.
the
It's the
because the
Let,
200
reality.
let him complete.
no,
Gladly,
I
let
have
him
not
complete.
interfere
Yeah.
because I have not interfere. We also need to have the courtesy of how to talk.
Okay,
My
please
point
speak
is
on.
that
Yeah.
by after 2.5 years, there are near 195 Meitei people have been killed. 330 Meitei are still missing. More than 5,000 Meitei houses were burned down. And then still there are more than 30,000 Meitei are living in the relief camps. So we all know that. So don't use this victimhood to get your own political gain. We all know that the 3rd May attack was done by the Kuki militant. All the photographs are there. It actually government official record the violence. The organized militant organization under the SHU suspension operation, they are attacking the Meitei
Yeah.
community. The
The
name of
fact, Dr.
no.
Siram, the fact
My
is that
point
the
is
fact
that
is
my
that
point is very. I have
people
to
have
clarify.
suffered. People
No,
from all the communities have suffered in that state. It cannot
no,
be
my
my pain and your pain on all
no, my
sides. I'm sure I'm talking
let
about
me
all
let me let
sides.
me let me clarify. My point is that like the violence happened. Now it's over, but we have to ask what the community as a responsible organization of the Kuki and the Meitei, we have to ask the accountability of how this violence allowed to happen for 2.5 years. But the Kukis, they are very easy to blame only Meitei, but they have not asked any question to the central government. They have not asked any what the failure of the Indian military armed forces, the military came in Imphal, why they are not able to protect in Imphal, why they are not. We are asking the same question when the Meitei, Churachandpur, Ikau, Tamtengopal, More, 4 districts were coordinated attack by the Kuki militant, the police were helpless. The army were not come to support the people. The Assam Rifle was nothing. So the responsibility is what the DC did, what the police did, what the military did, what the Assam Rifle did, how these armed forces, the security and all the administration actually fail. That is the question needs to be answered. So we don't need to.
Gladdy,
Yes.
the point is that there was a chief minister.
Again,
the chief
please,
minister.
Yes.
Sriram, please quickly complete your point. Yeah.
My point is that people suffer. We all know that. Like even in Imphal, the Kuki houses are still there. Many Kuki houses are still there. If you when you come to Imphal, you will see. Of course, some of the property might have been taken by others, but they are safe. But in Churachandpur, how many houses still? More than 8,000 houses were really bulldozed. Lady, understand. You don't use media as your propaganda, okay? There are many houses are bulldozed. In Imphal, the Kuki houses are there. But you are always using media as your campaign. Just stop this. Let's come to the facts. Let's call for accountability.
Perfect.
Who is responsible?
We have been talking about the trouble in the state.
My point is whether it's the Mr. Gain or Kuki MLA, Kuki Cabinet Minister, BJP, Biren, everyone who is responsible, let's fix the responsibility.
Absolutely. The responsibility must be fixed and justice must be delivered. That is the whole point of the debate. Also is to bring together the members of the community to build bridges. We are trying to play that part, and we have been completely focused on this story for last 2 years. You would agree, Dr. Siram. In the end, Gladdy, you want to come in here before we wrap up?
Yes. Salute to Center Forces. I disagree with him because 6,000 plus they were displaced within Imphal's all the Kuki-Zo were alive today because they ran to the Center Forces camp. They are protected by them. So salute to them. And then I want to appeal through this media to the Prime Minister of our great nation that, dear PM, please do visit the widows who are made widows because of the violence, orphans who are made orphans because their father or mother died in the violence. And I also appeal to our dear Prime Minister, please visit the mass grave that the Kuki-Zo are buried with tears. And lastly, I want him to go to the relief center that's there and see the existence, what at what state. So this is my appeal to my people.
Gladdy, the first step has been done. The Prime Minister is visiting that state. Of course, he will have to hear what he'll say, but he's there with a healing touch. He's coming after a long gap, and I'm sure that it could be a beginning towards some sort of a reconciliation where members of all the communities will live together in peace under the same roof. Thanks so much for joining us today, Gladdy, Dr. Siram, Rojesh. Thanks so much for joining us. And
can I get one more point?
Yes, sure.
No, actually, while we are asking for accountability, the government of India is actually having talks, renegotiation with the armed groups who are responsible in the violence. So we consider that the Indian government, the Kuki armed groups are sponsored by the Indian government because they are getting salary from the government of India. They are not a normal militant organization. They are organized. They are protected by the government of India. My point is that when we are looking for the accountability, how they are legitimizing those armed groups, we are asking for a disarmament. Disarm the whole community, but instead of disarming, they are supporting the Kuki militant. It means that we don't want peace.
Obviously, the government of India will be looking at the entire state, and there will be a strategy. And we know for a fact that there were members of the community that were brought in, and there were talks going on. Of course, there must be some groundwork that was done, and then only the Prime Minister is visiting that state. But we'll have to wrap it up here. Thanks so much, Gladdy. Thanks so much, Dr. Siram Rajesh, for joining us today, and to all our viewers for watching the Mojo Story. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.